graders, it's Mrs. Palm. I'm going to be taking you through your family times for the week, talking about your story, America's Champion Swimmer, Gertrude Ederle. We're going to talk about your comprehension skills this week, which is fact and opinion. We will look at your vocab words, and we're also going to talk about your conventions this week, which are contractions. And we're going to talk about your spelling words, which are all suffixes this week. So first, let's start with your story. America's Champion Swimmer, Gertrude Ederle. This is a biography about a woman named Gertrude Ederle. She did not write it. It's not an autobiography. It's written about her. It's a biography. She wanted to be the first woman to swim across the English Channel. So in this story, there's a lot of facts about her life and what she did, but you're also going to hear a lot of opinions about what people thought about what she was doing and why they thought it was something that she shouldn't be doing. So when you read the story this week, think about fact and opinion. Think about when you're reading what things that are being said are fact and what things that are being said are opinion. So let's start talking about that by talking about fact and opinion. So remember, a fact is something that can be proven true or false. For example, you can read to make sure something is a fact, not an opinion. You can ask an expert in a field to see if it's a fact, if it can be proven true or false. And any kind of credible source like an encyclopedia or a dictionary or certain websites, especially ones that end in like .gov, that can help prove facts to be true or false. An example that I have used with you before, if I tell you Mrs. Palm is 31 years old, how do you know that that is a fact? How can you prove it true or false? I can show you my birth certificate, and it's going to have my birthday on there, and then you can do the math and say, oh yeah, that's a fact, she's right. So as long as you can prove it true or false, it's a fact. Opinions, on the other hand, are someone's ideas or feelings. For example, if you hear the words should or best, those are some clue words that you should be able to recognize and think right away, okay, this person is just telling me what they feel, not what's true. So if I say, everyone should read Harry Potter, it's the best book that I've ever read in my life, the best series, everyone should read it so they can like as much as I do. How I'm saying that, first of all, you can tell that I'm suggesting that it's the best because I like it. Is it my opinion? Yes. It's not a fact. We couldn't find out from everybody in the entire world that it's the best book ever and everyone should read it. The words like should and best are very suggestive, and that's telling you that it's not a fact, it's just someone's idea or thought. Yes, it could be several people's ideas or feelings, but it still is not something that we can prove as a fact. So those clue words like should and best, watch out for those. Those are going to help you to see if something is fact or an opinion. On page 281 in your Readers and Writers notebooks, you're going to be going through a reading passage and you're going to be having to fill out a graphic organizer to see what in there is fact and what's opinion. It's going to ask you to prove how you know it, so you'll have to go back and read to figure that out and then see to prove how you know that something is an opinion or a fact. So now we're going to look at your vocab words for the week. You have the words and definitions on your family times. So I don't have a copy with me, I forgot one at school, but I have the words so I can show you and we can kind of talk about what they mean still. So the first word you have, celebrate. If we celebrate something, we're recognizing it. It's like a party. Like if I'm saying we're going to celebrate your birthday, you might be able to bring in treats. These are all things that involve celebrations. It's a recognition of an event. Continued. If you are working on, let's say, a unit test, I'll tell you to do a certain amount of it, and then I'll tell you to stop for the day, and then the next day, you'll continue it. So if you continue, it's like you start, take a break, and then you pick up where you left off. Current. In this case, for this story, the current is talking about water. So rivers and lakes, Oceans all have strong currents. They can have not strong or very strong currents. It's how the waves go. The current can be dangerous, especially if you're swimming for a long time, because it can make you even more tired. Drowned is your next vocab word. If you've drowned, that means that you have died in the water. So you've breathed water in too much into your lungs, you're getting tired, you can't swim anymore. If you drown, you die. So some people will say like, oh, I'm drowning, but you're not really drowning if you're able to talk, and you could possibly drown, but you're not actually haven't drowned unless you've sucked in a bunch of water into your lungs and that kind of stuff. So drowned is the past tense. That means it would have already happened. Medals. You get medals like an award or like a trophy. So a medal, when we think about this, M-E-D-A-L-S, not M-E-T, that's where there's like a ribbon and it's hooked on to like a gold or a silver or a bronze medal. That's to show that you've won something. Stirred. Let's say that you're asleep and someone says your name and you kind of do this like, what kind of thing like that. You stir, you're waking up. And your final vocab word is strokes. In swimming, in particular, you have to use strokes with your arms in order to move across the water. So there's several different kinds of strokes. Depends what kind of swimming swimming event that you do. But you have to stroke in the water with your arms in order to get across the water. So all of your definitions, like some of them might be a little bit slightly different. Remember, we talk about that sometimes, that they might give you like the actual dictionary definition and not the one that we're talking about for the week, but you have the definitions on your family times also. We're going to be talking about contractions as well this week. So contractions. A contraction is a word made by taking two words together. So, when you have a contraction, you are joining the two words together by an apostrophe, not a comma. Remember, apostrophe goes in the air, comma goes down below. So, contraction is a word made by putting two words together. An apostrophe joins the words where letters have been left out. So, for example, we plus are equals we're. So you're getting rid of that A, putting an apostrophe. Or you plus will equals you'll. You're getting rid of that I and that W and putting the apostrophe instead. So we've talked about contractions already this year, but this is just a review. So be making sure, like on page 284, when you're going to be working on this, that you're putting your contraction, or your apostrophe in the right spot. There's a whole lot of examples on page 284 of what it should look like. And finally, your spelling words are all suffixes. They end in I-S-T-O-R. I have N-E-S-S and E-S-S. You only have one that's N-E-S-S, but E-S-S is the rest of them. And then E-R. So I-S-T, like a dentist. O-R, like an editor. N-E-S-S, like lioness, that's a female lion. E-R, shipper, ends in E-R. E-S-S, actress or hostess, and in that suffix. Last week you did prefixes, which are letters that come before a base word. Suffixes come after the base word. So for example, like the word editor. The base word is edit, E-I-D-I-T, like what you do in Writer's Workshop. If you add an O-R to the end, it becomes editor, which is someone who edits. So it is still the same word, but it changes it slightly. But remember, suffixes come at the end. So like on page 285, you'll be working with suffixes. Make sure that you're using the word bank so you're spelling the words correctly. If you have questions during the week, have mom and dad email me. If not, practice all the skills in your Writer's Workshop notebooks. Or not Writer's Workshop, your Readers and Writers notebooks, sorry. And practice on the worksheets too. So that way by the time you take your language arts tests and spelling tests, you don't have any questions and you're good to go. I miss you guys a lot, and we'll hopefully be seeing you soon. Bye.